Good morning and welcome to the Daily Cyber Briefing for Thursday, the 6th of March. I'm Stephen Ridgway with apparently no background. Oh dear. Right, okay. I'm back into Restream to sort that out at some point. Anyway, it's a completely boring day. From cyber in the cyber world, as far as I can see, the usual bunch of, if you dig deep enough, you can find some stuff you've never heard of that needs patching. I'm not going to bore you with it all, but one thing that did come to my attention, which is worth having a little think about, is that there's a good article in HelpNet Security that talks about how visible AI usage isn't in most organizations. 89%, nearly 90% of enterprise AI usage is invisible to the organization. Why is this a concern? Well, I think we should by now all be aware of the fact that AI tools are not good at segregating your information from information that other people have uploaded to it. The security of what goes on within a lot of these AI tools, certainly the better known ones, it's dubious. I'm kind of hoping that by now you'll have thought about this and we'll have a policy around how you use AI. But these general AI tools, the large language models, if you're uploading stuff to there, there's no reason to believe that information should remain secure or confidential. So the fact that AI apps and AI websites are now all pervasive is one issue. That even if you are trying to control usage to the well-known ones, there's an absolute mountain of smaller AI apps that are out there, and you can just download the code and run the stuff yourself if you've got enough computing power. So it is a bit of a curious one as to what to do. There isn't, I don't think, a particularly good technical answer to this stuff. AI is cropping up in all sorts of things. Browser-based apps are all pervasive. If you're using, for example, if you're using Microsoft tooling, Copilot may well be switching itself on and doing stuff. If you're using Google tooling, you have to go to some trouble to turn off Gemini, and so on and so forth. So, understanding what's happening to your data is quite important. And that's before you get into questions around whether it is or isn't okay to use cheap and cheerful Chinese AI tools, and what happens to your data if you do use those. But then you're also finding bits of AI that are cropping up in all sorts of other things. I mean, one that's I'm aware of because I use it is Grammarly. So Grammarly has got an AI component, and in case you're uncertain about how that works, I'm pretty certain it is sending a whole load of stuff that you type back to the Grammarly AI servers somewhere in Cloudland, in order for them to come up with recommendations. If that's what you were expecting to happen, that's all well and good. If it isn't, then be aware it might be going on, even though you're not aware and not consciously. You're not consciously made the decision that's what you want to happen. So anyway, I would have a read of this article if you are responsible for any of this sort of stuff. Because it does, give some pretty good pointers as to what's actually going on out there. It gives you some thought-provoking stuff that it ought to be taken into account as part of your risk assessment for your confidential data or your company data, or whatever it may be, and maybe build in some policies and processes and standards around how this stuff really should be being used. Anyway, that's enough from me for today. Short and sharp. I'm sure you're glad of that. I hope you have a good day, and I will speak to you all again